Hello loves, how are y'all doing today? I am gonna go ahead and start posting the link to the live onto the Patreon so we can get started. So just give me a minute to get that going. But how are y'all doing? How was this past week for you guys? The moon is currently just in a really beautiful spot, so I'm pretty chilling for the most part. I feel like I'm just like getting a lot of work done today. I've been doing readings all day. So lots of stuff going on. I'm almost done filming the monthly chakra healing videos. I'm sorry they're a little bit late. I've just been doing a lot of readings and I'm still like I have to finish sending them out. So yeah, it's definitely it's been a lot of fun stuff. But let me know in the comments. I'm gonna read them in a second. I just gotta post the link to the live on the Patreon and then we can get started. We're gonna be doing an earth meditation for this week's live. So if you want to go ahead, take this time, go grab a crystal, go grab a plant, because you're gonna need one of the two. Okay, so go grab that because we are going to be doing an earth meditation, and go grab it. You can also grab a seashell for this as well if you would like to. Video. Okay, so also I do have to mention this. If you have not booked tickets for the Hollows workshop, I'm almost sold out of tickets. It's going to be an online event. I'm kind of thinking about opening up a little bit more tickets, but I do want it to be a private event. So if you do want to sign up for it, you have two options: is either free or by donation. And there's also, if you wanted to add the ritual kit to it, you can do that as well. But for the most part, I highly recommend signing up for it now, because once October comes, it's going to be on Halloween. It's going to be online. It's going to be a 2-hour workshop. Once October comes, it's going to be gone. I'm pretty sure it's going to sell out by the end of this month, if not this week, just because there's not a lot of tickets left. So just be mindful of that. Definitely sign up for it if you want to come through. We're going to be doing a lot of ancestor work on that day, and we're also going to be doing an ascension ritual, which is going to be amazing. So by all means, if you would like to partake on that day, I mean, pretty much Halloween is canceled this year, so since we're not going to be outside, we might as well do something collectively together and still work with the energy. So for sure, come through, and definitely sign up before tickets just sell out. that's my piece on that one. So let me just finish posting the link really quickly. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I posted it on the Patreon. So they have the live. Perfect. Okay. Okay, perfect. So we are going to start getting started. Let me just grab the Mudra cards deck, so that, because we're going to be picking a mudra for this grounding meditation, so that everybody can pick. So if you didn't grab if you missed what I said earlier, we're going to be doing an earth meditation today. So go grab a crystal of your preference, of your choice, or grab a plant, because you're going to need one of those. You can use a seashell as well, but I 1000% recommend you grab this now. So we're not like behind on the work that we need to do, because once I start, I'm going to start. I think I remember seeing a comment before in one of the previous lives. Someone said, oh, I thought the meditation started like a 7 something. They do not. They do not start at the 7-minute mark. They start whenever we're ready to start. So let me just pull some mudras for you guys. What mudra should we be using for this meditation? Okay, what mudra should we be using? Okay. Whew. Okay, so we got 3 different cards. So let me just grab them for you guys so we can start talking to them for a second. We have 3 different mudras. I'm going to go over each one. I just want to start showing them to you guys now. So the first one is receptivity, okay? Bathing in soft moonlight energy, I open to my receptive feminine qualities. Okay, this is what it looks like. If this is the one that you are being called to use for this meditation, just pay close attention to the details so that you can use it during the meditation. This is going to be the back of the card for those who are going to come in a little bit later or want to pause and read the card. You can do so there. The next one is trust inner guidance. Attuned to the guidance of my inner being, I journey forward with complete integrity. Okay, so that is going to be right there. So just take a good look at it to see what that looks like. This is the back for my people who are going to want to read the back. Okay. The last one is balanced energy. Cultivating balance in all of my activities, I experience greater energy and vitality. That's what it looks like. Just move it closer so I can see. And then the back. Okay, so I'm going to hold these up so you guys can see them again. So start putting hearts in the comments if you already picked your mudra. Okay, so let me know. Start putting hearts in the comments. Let me see the comments real quick. I want to get a reading, how much and when. So to book a reading with me, you can go to my website, TigeraGitana.com. And on one of the tabs on the top, which says work with me, you can see all of my offerings, and you can book a reading and see my calendar from there. Okay. So happy to see you. I've been chilling. It's been chilling as well. As someone in hermit mode. Yeah, I started doing the monthly chakra healing videos, and a lot of people are kind of going through a lot right now. So I can feel that. I do see a lot of people doing the Virgo twang and doing a lot of hermiting. I see it. It's a lot. I'm talking to you, Cancer. I'm talking to you. But I'll be posting those later on, so you guys will be able to see those. But there has been a lot of hermiting. I do feel like there's a need to disconnect. Next week, I'm going on a I am going on it's like this birthday camping, not really camping trip, but because we booked basically booked a house in the woods somewhere. And I'm really excited about it because, one, I got a vision of what the ritual that I need to do when I get there. So let me tell y'all something real quick, because my Native American ancestors is just a little bit petty with me. Every time I am going anywhere in the United States, because the United States, first and foremost, is Native American land, my Native American ancestors and the ancestors of that land give me a vision of what I need to do when I get there for them. I already know what offering, what I need to use, what tools it is, everything. I I've seen the whole thing of how I'm going to do it. I also got two visions. One vision of me doing it with Bae and one vision of me doing it without Bae, because she has the choice of either doing it with me or not, especially because we're going to be with like 8 other people. I'm not doing it with 8 other people. I'm either doing it with me or I'm doing it with Bae. That's the two visions they showed me. They showed me exactly how I'm going to do it, and I already know what ingredients are going in the thing and everything. And they also gave me the download that I can share it with you guys, so I am going to be filming it, which is a rare occasion when it comes to me doing spiritual work, especially any type of offerings for like any Native American spirits. I have never been guided to share that kind of stuff with anybody, so but they did guide me and showed me that I can film that for you guys, so I will be filming it for you guys. So it's gonna be interesting to say the least, but I kind of already saw myself doing it, so I already know what I have to do. I know I have to do it, so it's gonna be a very beautiful experience. But I'm glad that I'm just getting out to be in the woods and just in nature, which is like the most Virgo thing you can do. So it's kind of like hermiting with other people in a way. I said that to say that. Love your content. Thank you so much. Please don't be so hard on yourself. Thank you so much for sharing your insight with us. Take your time. Thanks, love. Seriously, especially during Virgo season, it's all like perfectionism and like trying to stay organized right now. Just signed up for the workshop. Thank you for reminding us before the workshop closes. Seriously, because it is going to end up selling out. It just, I only put a limited number of tickets. I don't want it to be like super overwhelming, but it's going to just close very soon. So be mindful, sign up early. Okay, I see some hearts. Let me put it up again for my peoples who need the refresher. Okay. So just really quickly. So if you picked the mudras for this meditation, it's what they look like. All right. So what you're going to do, if you grabbed a crystal, if you grabbed a plant, you can do this in a couple of different ways. You can either, if you grabbed a crystal, first and foremost, you can either lay down on your bed, or one of my favorite things to do is just stick crystals in my belly button, depending on what size the crystal is. You can put it in your belly button. You can lay back while you're doing the meditation for this and just put the crystal on you, if that's what you want to do. I also kind of like to put the crystal right, like, I guess it's gonna be awkward to explain, but you know how like underwear, like right that where the line go, but not the line, the elastic, that first part, so it can actually hold the crystal. I like to just put it there while I'm in, like if I'm in lotus pose, I just like to put it right there. So it's basically almost reflective to my sacral chakra, and closer to the base of my spine. So I put it there as well. So you can, I'm not saying sticking it up somewhere, okay? I hope y'all heard me, but just put it there where your underwear is, just at the seam of it, the elastic, while you're doing the meditation in the mudra that you intuitively chose. If you are doing this with a plant, which would be my favorite way of doing this, just because I feel like crystals, again, they carry their own energy and they have their own kind of characteristics, but a plant is going to show you something that you haven't seen per se, depending on how you do work with crystals and how advanced you are with it. But if you are picking a plant, this is what I need you to do. I need you to take a plant. I don't know how big your plant's gonna be. This is one of my baby plants that I'm still growing. Just pick a plant. Pick a plant. You're going to put it right in between your legs. Again, I'm not trying to make this whole meditation sexual. I swear it's everything. But you're gonna put it in between your legs, okay? So it's gonna be mirroring your base, which is your root chakra, which is the earth chakra. Okay, I hope you guys see what I'm going. You're gonna put it at your base, and you're going to be doing the mudra over the plant. Okay, whichever one you picked, you're gonna be doing it over the actual plant itself. It would be smart to pick a plant that's not that big, but it's up to y'all's. It's up to y'all's on that one. So when you're ready, please start to close your eyes and start to relax. start to breathe in deep. And you're breathing in and out. You're breathing in and out. And through your third eye, you are in complete darkness. Everything is black. You're breathing in and out. Now, I want you to start visualizing that plant or that crystal that you are using. I want you to start visualizing it in your third eye. And as you are visualizing it, you are zooming into it. And it is revealing to you what lies underneath the surface. What does this crystal or plant have to show you? Ask to be shown what ways this tool can help you grow. Ask to see how you should maintain your connection with it. Ask the core, what can you embody from working and using with this earth energy? Ask your earth tool to show you what you need to cut out, what weeds are growing in your garden that need to be cut out so that you can grow. When you're ready, give thanks to your earth tool for helping you see what you needed to see. You're still breathing in and out. And when you're ready, you can start coming back. Once you come back, just put a star on the chat so I know that you guys are back. Okay, let me see how you guys are doing. This may sound weird, but I feel like the plant giving me its grounding energy, telling me to let it go. Thanks, we'll do this again. Yeah, this is a really easy way to connect with earth energy by just using something that comes from the earth. It is a powerful way to ground yourself and also receive messages from the earth itself. So it's very beautiful. It's also a very beautiful thing to do outside if you're trying to connect with specific lands, or if you're traveling. I do this a lot when I travel to other countries, and I just, you know, cleanse and bless my space. I'll try to find either like a small area where there's like something growing, whether it be some plants or a tree or something, and then I'll just go and connect to it, just to get those downloads, because they're important downloads that come from nature. And back in ancient times, it was always the study of nature. And we talked a lot about that on the Between Ascension podcast as well, if you want to definitely catch up with that. I feel so grounded and supported. Thank you. I need to let go of being of pessimism and need to still need to still more and be okay with it now. That was a little bit of a tongue twister. A Cancer with a fire gate. Tell me I need strength. That's beautiful. That's a really good like message, I think. And at the end of the day, we do need to connect better with our tools so we can best know how to use them at the end of the day. Because there's something to be said about having, you know, a tool that you use, like your tarot cards, for example, oracle cards. But, you know, when you start saying like, hey, give me the, like, it's really simple when it comes with these kind of cards, because you could just be like, hey, what's the message? You're literally asking it for a message. But it seems like with so many of the tools that we have in our spaces, like our herbs, like our plants, like our water, the things that we drink, and the things that we consume, like fruits, we don't ask those things for messages. We just be like, you know, and we just consume it. So it's important to kind of pause and connect and build those relationships. I feel so relaxed, I almost knocked out. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I think that this is a really good one to use right before you're going to sleep, because it grounds you, but it also relaxes you. It's just like, it's as simple as letting things kind of just be. I saw a small black kitten just hugging it all. Oh, that's really cute. That's really cute. I would definitely do like a, I would connect with some of the cat deities for that one. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, Cats are something that actually, it's one of my spirit animals. And ever since I was little, I've always connected with cats. I have a big relationship with cats, and it reflects in my relationship with Sekhmet, because it's just like it's a very easy for me to connect. And then while studying astrology, when I discovered I was a Leo rising, I was like, I'm just a cat. That's why. I'm just talking with my people, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, it's just me. So I kind of understood that in a different kind of perspective once like that kind of clicked for me. But yes, let's talk about what's going on in the astrology world of life. First and foremost, sun is still in Virgo, moon is currently in Taurus. That's why it definitely is a very earthy vibe today, these past few days, and tomorrow, and actually till the rest of Virgo season. It's a lot of earth energy, and that's why I wanted to do this specific meditation for you guys, because it's just a really, really great way to connect with earth energy, especially if you are a sign that has trouble grounding or trouble connecting with earth energy. And I know there's some out there, okay? My Sagittarius is out there, okay? I know. My Geminis sometimes, listen, a lot of the air and fire signs have the worst time grounding themselves. So this is a really easy way to do so with just like tools. Mercury is in Libra, okay? Venus is in Leo. Get flashy. Mars is still in Aries. Jupiter is still in Capricorn. Saturn is still in Capricorn. Uranus is still in Taurus. Neptune is still in Pisces. Pluto is still in Capricorn. Chiron is still in Aries. Okay. But it is a very, very, very earthy time right now. However, with Mercury and Libra, we're gonna have to talk about this, because I'm gonna actually, while I'm doing the astrology portion, I'm gonna start pulling the cards for the just the weekly forecast for this week. So I'm gonna be shuffling at the same time. But before I do, before you guys start asking me, yes, we're doing the pick a card situation. If you want me to pull an oracle card for you during the live, just put it as a super chat, like $5 or up or whatnot, and then just pick, or just put you pick the card or the deck, so that way I can pull a card for you. You have these decks to pick from: the Flower Therapy Oracle card deck, the Archangel Michael Oracle deck, the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck, the Flowers from the Dead Oracle deck, Archangel Gabriel Oracle deck, Archangel Raphael Oracle deck, and lastly, the Romance Angels Oracle deck. And the reason why I wanted to specify this is because Mercury is in Libra right now. And literally every reading that I've done, you guys, I know I said it in the last live, but literally every reading that I've been doing for the past couple of weeks has something love related, partnership related. Love is such a big thing right now for some reason. I know that for the most part, love takes a big it's a presence in our lives, period. You see it in TV shows, you hear it in music, you hear it everywhere. But for some reason, there is just this highlighting of partnership right now. And I think it's because of that lack and detachment that was present because of the whole quarantine situation. People are just really, really have been lacking those type of connections, and I think it's hitting a crescendo, and it's gonna hit it in Libra season. And I'm not surprised the first card that came out is the Two of Cups. I'm just not surprised. So we have to talk about this Mercury and Libra situation, and why on a verbal level there is this need to communicate in the language of love, in the language of partnerships, in the language of kind of balancing your way out. Like, I need someone to balance me. I just need someone who can talk to me on my level. I need someone who can understand me on my level. I need someone that can have these deep conversations with me. Like, there's all of these things that are getting brought up, especially with relationships right now, that I'm just like, I get it. Let's talk about it. And I do feel like when the sun moves into Libra, you're going to see a lot of that energy continue to kind of expand a lot, especially until we get into Capricorn season. Wintertime tends to be a very is when the most couples come together, because people like to cuddle in the warmth, in the cold, during those times. So people usually come together during like that general time space. And so yeah, love keeps taking space. It keeps taking up space for within good reason. But I do feel like that it has a lot to do with how chaotic this year has been, and how much of our relationships, the way they've been impacted by our social circumstances, and how we interact as people also has changed. And so it doesn't, go over my head that all of these things are kind of like going down at the same time. But yeah, Venus is in Leo, and I know that having that Venus in Leo energy is kind of like, oh, I want to show out. I want to look good. I want to be loved. I want to give love too. You know, when you're watching a movie, especially if all you've been doing is binge watching shows, binge watching movies and stuff like that, on every single platform, Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, everything, then you really have just been like, it gets to a point where you're like, okay, you're binge watching stuff and you're like, oh, I kind of need some excitement in my life kind of energy. So I do feel that. I feel that like need for extraness. I feel that need for just a little umph. And it's coming up a lot for people. So that's why I wanted to specifically highlight that Oracle deck for this specific live. And I think we're going to be using it a lot more in the upcoming weeks as well. So right now you're also seeing a lot of like Venus's energy taking coming into the forefront. So because Venus rules love and money, and you have this bigger highlight on your finances, there's a reason why I titled this live "What's Your Comfort?" Okay, because I want you to tell me, or tell yourself, or analyze for yourself, what are you comfortable in, and what does your life look like right now, and are you comfortable? Can you answer those questions? And are you comfortable being loved? Are you comfortable being taken care of? Are you comfortable taking care of others? Are you comfortable, or does it make you happy to hear the person that you love tell you that they love you? Do you prefer like physical touch? Do you prefer acts of and all of these are love languages. Do you prefer like acts of giving, or just being present, or just remembering certain things? What is your comfort when it comes to other people, when it comes to having that space that we create that is very, very sacred, those people that we let into those spaces? What is your comfort? Because Venus brings the question of pleasure, and 2020 has been a chaotic ass year. Like, I feel like it's been a lot harder for us to align with pleasure, because every single day there's some crazy other thing happening, and I'm just like guys, we had murder hornets, we have California is like up in flames, there's just so much stuff going on that you have to really ask yourself, is 2020 a pleasurable year? Has 2020 given you your expectations of what a pleasurable year looks like? Like, are you feeling your pleasure, and have you been actually trying to get back to it these past couple of months? Because everything has just been so frustrating that you're just like, I'm trying to get back to me. I feel like I need to start just coming back to me, because I can't enjoy everything else that's happening out there. And we're also got put in the position where we had to separate from ourselves, from each other. And social interactions affects a lot of different signs in different ways. It affects a lot of the social and the moodable signs, probably the most, because they love to connect with other people. Gemini was one of the biggest signs to kind of take a hit for this. And this is why I wasn't surprised that Azalea Banks was feeling a little bit, or was feeling a little bit suicidal. I wasn't surprised about that, because I knew Geminis were not feeling good at all. I knew a lot of the air signs weren't feeling good. I knew a lot of the fire signs, for the most part, weren't feeling good about it, especially Aries. Aries was not with it. there's a lot of the signs, like earth signs have been dealing with it for the most part, but for like in a totality, the earth signs are really can get really comfortable being home bodies for the most part. So it wasn't like, I don't think when it first went down, like we were too pissed about just having to stay home for a while, for a minute. But it does build up that the length of time that was invested in just staying home created an unpleasurable environment, because at some point you're going to want to do something else. And so water signs really kind of took it upon themselves to dive into their creativity, which I was really happy about, because they really needed the time. They needed the time to be creative. A lot of my Pisces are in a really good place right now. I haven't finished doing the chakra healing videos, but from the past couple of months, a lot of my Pisces have been in a really beautiful space, and I'm really happy for them. A lot of my water signs have actually been doing really good, and I'm just like, you do you, boo. That's great. I love to hear that. But they really needed the time and space to kind of use their water energy in a creative fashion, and you need time to build on that. So they were using it in a different way. We had a lot of different projects, a lot of music coming out during this time, and there's still things that we don't know about that are going to be launching that were created during this time as well. So it's a lot going on, but it affected a lot of people in different ways. Fire signs didn't get to really fire up or be actionable in the way that they're used to. They were asked to stop. And so was that comfortable for you? Are you in your comfort? Are you still in your comfort? Are you still trying to navigate your way out of that? And it really brings the energy of pleasure back into the conversation, especially with Venus being in Leo. Leo, 1000%, because of his stubbornness, is just gonna want to do what it want to do for the most part. But Leos have a big heart, and they like to be very showy with their love. I definitely felt this today, because I was definitely all over Bay all day. That was definitely happening. And I do think that my Leo rising gets triggered during specific Leo transits, and I'm just extra lovey for whatever reason. I'm just like extra. But there is this emphasis on being extra, on wanting extra, on wanting to be a little bit more expansive, a little bit more showy. So right now, during this time period, what is your comfort right now? Like, do you feel like you're in a place where you are comfortable, that you are loved, that you can share your love, that you are kind of like, that you're comfortable? Like, are you comfortable, or are you still trying to navigate your way through your pleasure? Okay, now with Venus being in Leo, it does highlight a lot of the finances as well, because Venus rules money. So I wouldn't say right now it's probably the best time to be spending money, especially because as of last month's reading, the past 2 months reading that I've done for Leo, they've been very, very, very conservative with their money. They've been very not trying to spend their money on a lot of different things. They just haven't been with it. And it's not for nothing. They're really not trying to be in a place of lack. So they're very, very, restrictive with themselves right now. But is that comfortable? Okay? Is that comfortable? How does that make Leo feel? And does Leo need to now change its habits to still have pleasure, still have comfort within their own restrictions? That's when we're going to get into that conversation, because then, since you have to change your habits, even though you love what you love, period. And Leo is very much like that. You love what you love. And with Venus and Leo, it highlights that for all of us. You're going to love what you love, period. But how you navigate through it now, you have to be comfortable with how you get there, and how you execute getting from A to B. And so a lot of questions have to be really asked with that, and how you want to move forward and really kind of go through the process of finding back your pleasure, finding back and feeling comfortable and feeling like you're in a good space. Because I feel like it's almost like asking the sun not to shine. That's really what like trying to stop a Venus and Leo kind of energy from being used at collectively. Is like asking the sun not to shine. It's like trying to put a cloud on the sun, and the cloud's like, but I want to do this. The sun is gonna do what the sun is gonna do every day. Everything that's happened during this time has been like clouds in front of the sun. That doesn't mean that the sun didn't shine. The sun is still shining, but you do have to find some sort of comfort within those cloudy days, especially during this time. And so right now it's really, you really have to start getting comfortable with your circumstances, especially because the way it looks, this situation with the coronavirus, with the pandemic, everything that's going on might last longer than we would all like it to. I would love for it to be gone, like right now. But since it looks like everybody is just politicizing everything and kind of making this extend and last longer than it needs to, we need to be a little bit more proactive of how we react, okay, and how we find our comfort during this difficult time that's not the same as the past. That is, it's not, we're not reacting in the same way that we used to. We're not moving forward or walking forward the same way that we used to. Our habits have had to change. Our eating habits definitely have changed. The way we like go to restaurants, go on dates, stuff like that, it just has changed. A lot of it has changed. The way we go, you know, out to the club definitely is not happening that much that right now. And so how do you find your comfort, and what new things can you integrate and add to these upcoming months, weeks, to get comfortable and be happy and still shine and still have that Leo energy, still find that pleasure, still find that love? Are there things that you could start implementing? Maybe there's something that you wanted to work on, or something that you wanted to kind of level up on with yourself that now you have the time to kind of partake in. And especially when it comes to, I feel like, diving in deeper with ourselves, it's very, very important to get down to the nitty-gritty of who we are, what we do, what we love. And in order to do that, you need to do a lot of self-love work, and you need to really get down to the, okay, what is my purpose? What am I doing? What am I going to, how am I going to contribute to the world? What is it that I need to add or give or share into this world? Like, what am I doing? There's some people that were literally just born to be mothers. There's some people who are literally, and it's in their natal chart, and you see it, you're like, you're supposed to have a big family, and your big concern is to, like, a lot of it has to do with like resolving, you know, generational like family trauma and stuff like that. But a lot of it has to do with them just being mothers. A lot of it, and there's some people that are like meant to have a big business and meant to, you know, grow a company or something like that. And then there's others who are like, not everybody's path is the same. So this is a really, really great time to get to know yourself and ask yourself all of those questions until you find that comfort. Okay, until you know where to shine in. That's where that Venus in Leo comes in, because the second you know what you're comfortable in, the second you know what is you, then you can shine, because that's all you're gonna do. You're gonna be yourself, and then you can shine by being yourself. You see what I'm saying? So it's really important to pause. You have to pause. You have to like pause and reflect and say, okay, let me just sit down and get to know myself. Let me ask myself all of these uncomfortable questions. Let me see where I kind of end up in with kind of diving in deeper within myself and seeing who am I? What am I doing? Have I been lost? Why do I feel like I've been lost? Am I missing something? How do I find the answer to what I'm missing? Who do I need to ask? Who do I need to work with? Can I pray on it? Can I ask Spirit to assist me on this? What have I not been listening to? What baggage am I still carrying from my past that's blocking me from progressing? Like all of these different things that need to kind of really be resolved, like right now, like right now. Virgo season is for hermiting for a reason. There's a reason why the Hermit card is literally the dude with the lamp and the light in the light, and that's really what he's searching for. He's searching for the light. He's searching, and the light is always enlightenment, is always information, is always the clarity that you need. And it's also the sunlight, okay? It is also how you shine. You hermit, you go away from people, you detach from people so you can better understand. That's a very Aquarian, Virgo energy. And it's a really important thing to understand why it's happening right now, because Uranus and Taurus has still been going and wrecking and doing a lot of different things to this world, including us. It has been constantly asking us to upgrade ourselves, and we've talked about this in the weekly healing circles before, but it is constantly asking us to evolve. Constantly asking us to evolve. And so how do you evolve if you don't know yourself? How do you evolve if you don't know your purpose? How do you evolve if you're resisting change, resisting progression? How do you evolve if you're blocking you from moving forward? How do you evolve if you are the cloud that's stopping you from shining? Like, you have to kind of sort all of these things out by hermiting. So if you're hermiting, be proactive about it. There's a Virgos don't just go away to do nothing. And if they do, they're toxic. Period. I said what I said. Catch me outside. But it's true. Virgos don't just hermit for no reason. They usually have a really big reason why they're detaching in the first place. Same for Aquarius. Aquarius does the same exact thing. Aquarius says, okay, there's an issue on the table. Somebody's saying this, the other person's saying this, or this party saying this party saying this. I'm gonna just completely take myself out of the room so I can actually see you guys bickering and see what you guys are missing. I need to see the whole picture. And both of these options are not showing me the whole picture. So I need to step out of it and not come up with a conclusion without actually analyzing it first. It's very Aquarian energy, which is Uranus energy. Okay, and so the upgrade comes by detaching, by hermiting, by pulling back so you can find that light within the mess of things, and so you can kind of move over the clouds and let the sun shine so things can grow. Okay, the sun affects the earth in that way. There's a reason why Uranus is doing what it needs to do, because it's affecting the earth so things can grow. I said what I said. So it's really important right now to ask yourself, what is your comfort? What are you comfortable in? Have you gotten really comfortable with not doing, or not acting, not moving, not doing anything, not progressing, not making any moves? Or just, have you gotten comfortable with your politics? Have you gotten comfortable with your friends around you who are not, the best, or who can be toxic? Or have you gotten really comfortable with your family drama, your family toxicity, all of these different elements of who you have and who you are, who basically elements around you, which you have kind of given passes to without actually acting on them and saying, hey, well, actually, no, the buck stops here. What do you mean by that? Actually, I don't agree with that. Actually standing up for what you believe, because that's who you are, and actually shining within those moments. And so the way the relationship with Mercury being in Libra and Venus being in Leo right now kind of balances out, especially if you're not looking at relationship stuff right now, because I know relationships are a big deal. I know, I get it, I see it. But when it comes to looking at the relationship between Mercury and Venus right now, Libra is going to want to have things be in synchronicity, be in balance, be calibrated, okay? Be in alignment with it. Even if it's a relationship, it's gonna still want it to be in alignment with them. They're not just gonna want just anybody. They're gonna want the somebody. And so when you're looking at finding your comfort through Venus in Leo and then Mercury in Libra, you're going to want to have that balance. You're going to want your comfort to be balanced, not an imbalance. It's going to make you look at it in a perspective where you're just like, wait, there's something wrong. I can't sell this to myself. I can't really sell this idea that everything's fine, or this is not a problem, or what this person just said doesn't hurt, or that this person didn't just really hurt my feelings or say something really bad. You can't just pretends like that energy was not just created and that is not there. It just is not realistic. And so right now, not only must we seek balance and make sure that we are personally internally calibrated so we can be comfortable, but we also need to allow ourselves to shine through this detachment, through the hermiting, through our self analyzations, and not just waste 2020 and make it be like, oh, I had a really bad year because of that XYZ. Yeah, we can all name like a million reasons why this year has been insane. Literally just insane, off the books, insane. Especially when you compare it to every year that's come before it, completely insane. But it's not for nothing. It's absolutely not for nothing. It is a necessary process. So what is it that you need to do with the energy? Not let me wait till the energy does something to me. How can you use the energy to find your comfort and find your calibration? How can you use it to be good, to be great, to be abundant? How can you still use this energy? How can you work with it? So that's really what I personally see that's happening on the astrological side of things. And I do feel like there's a lot of, especially today, there's a lot of beautiful trines. I think for the most part, we're definitely being supported right now, even though it doesn't seem like it. And I know there's a lot of things that might seem like, you know, things are really chaotic and everything. And I know that it might not seem like we're supported, but we are actually being very much astrologically supported by the planets. It's just that I don't think a lot of people are using the energy correctly. I don't think that a lot of people are focusing on the bigger picture either. I feel like a lot of people are in a mindset of lacking. And I also don't think that people are being as proactive as they could be, and as reactive as they could be. I think that if there's a problem that's coming up or that's looming, I think that we need to be a little bit more on top of it, on a collective level, especially with everything that's going on with people right now. I know a lot of people are getting evicted. I know a lot of people are going through like a lot of financial issues. It's just happening. There's no way to avoid that, and there's no way to kind of ignore the fact that it's happening to other people. And it really sucks that a lot of people are being put in the position because a lot of it, it's just our government is just not being proactive or reactive to our needs. But we need to do what we can to take care of ourselves. So we need to go into that self-analyzation mode, because a lot of people are not comfortable. A lot of people are stressed out. A lot of people are going through a lot of different things, and it's scary. It's really scary that this is happening on a grand scale, not on, oh, the small population or small minority of people are going through this stuff. No, there's millions and millions of people getting evicted right now. It's millions of people who don't have jobs. The unemployment rate is through the roof. Like, we're in a point where we're going through a recession, and it's scary to think that history might repeat itself in the way that it did in the past, and that it's just going to have this really like bad effect. And I don't want to also put that energy out there, but the actions of others also have that, you know, energy around and being applied to the people. So it's just, I would understand why there's some people out there thinking the worst and being super negative about the circumstances, because what else can they see but negativity happening? So it kind of really sucks that, oh, sorry, a card just fell. It kind of really sucks that this is happening to people in the way that, did a card fall? Oh yeah, it did. That this is happening to people the way that it is, because it almost feels like there's just a super lack of opportunities, and just the way money is being directed, the way things are kind of going down, the way they're going down. Like, it's just, there is a sadness of 2020 that cannot be ignored at all. I just hope, I think especially, I haven't done the election breakdown. I'm going to do it, the astrology breakdown. I'm going to do it, I swear. But looking at that chart, because I've already looked at that day. I can tell you a couple of things. I think the energy of that day is going to be really chaotic. It's going to have, I'll break it down on that video, but it's going to have certain energies to it, but it is going to be a very chaotic day. And I think it's going to be the complete culmination of everything that's kind of come to pass. But I hope that people look at 2020 and everything that has happened, and even if it's just 2020 alone, and they do the right thing, even though, again, the election can 1000% be fixed because it's already being fixed. But I do hope that people use their vote properly. And I say this because your vote, it's still an intention. If you're looking at it on a spiritual level, it's still an intention. You're setting an intention for who you want to win. And you are adding to an intention. It's honestly like a whole collective spell if you think about it. But a lot of people are doing it with you. You have people doing a counter spell against you, and you are doing a spell with other people where you're setting an intention for something to come to fruition. So it is a very, very big spell. And it is something that I feel like is going to trigger a lot of change, especially with my generation, especially with the generation before me. If things go down the way they go down, I personally think that a lot of the newer generation is going to start moving out of the country. But I also feel like even if Trump wins, and I was going to say this in that video because I kind of was looking at Joe Biden's transits for that day. I was looking at Trump's transits for that day. How do I say this? Because on November 3rd, I want you guys to understand this. On November 3rd, there's a couple of votes up, especially for the Senate. All the Democrats have to do is flip 4 seats. And they have the House and they have the Senate. Just 4 seats. And Republicans have been super scared about this for the past like year or so, but they're getting more scared now because they haven't passed the stimulus bill and people are literally getting evicted. So they're afraid that they're going to get voted out, especially Mitch McConnell. I cannot wait. I'm praying for Kentucky to do the right thing. I am praying for Kentucky because he has to go. He has to get thrown in the ocean. Like, I really do not care. I cannot give any F's about Mitch McConnell. But his seat is up November 3rd. So it's not, I'm more concerned about that vote than I am about the presidential vote, because even if Trump wins, and I want you guys to understand this, if the Senate flips, because I think it is, to be honest, I think it's going to go Democrat. I have a really big feeling that it's going to go Democrat, and Trump is still president, they will impeach him again and he will get removed because the Senate will be Democratic at that point. He's just going to get removed. They're not going to tolerate another 4 years of him. I will 1000% promise you that. That's not going to happen. So even if he wins the presidency and does whatever shit show he wants to do, if the Senate takes back, if the Democrats take back the Senate, they're going to impeach him again. And he will go down in history as being double impeached and then being removed from office. So I'm not giving up hope on what 2020 or what America kind of has come to. But I do think that karma is still, like, I feel like I feel the karma coming a mile away. So I'm not trying to be super negative about it either. Like, even if he wins, I wouldn't be surprised, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he loses, to be honest, because that's another energy of that day. Joe Biden has a better chance of winning based on his transits alone. When I was looking at his transits, I was like, ooh, Joe Biden has a better chance of winning that day. So we'll see. I have to do that election day breakdown. I'm sorry that I haven't gotten to do it yet. I've been doing a lot of readings, so my apologies on that. But I'm gonna get that out to you guys very soon so you guys can get that information. But please make sure you are registered to vote and you're doing the best, you know, your thing when it comes to the politics of this country, because it does affect our collective energy. And this is the best example. This year is the best example of how the government affects our collective energy. And I still have friends and people who are like, I don't give a hell about the government. I don't care. It doesn't do anything to me. It does, though. And this is the best year to show you how much it does. That's the best way that I can put it. So I do hope that you guys register to vote, because at the minimum, we can show Trump how much we dislike him by voting in such a high number that he can't dispute that he just did not win. That's like, that honestly is like what I want. I want it to be so in your face, like we don't want you here, that the number is just stupid high. So we'll see what happens. But regardless, again, there's still that window where they could just take him out. So I'm not too stressed out about November 3rd. But the energy of that day is gonna be chaotic as hell. It's gonna be a hot mess. I don't think we're gonna know, like based on looking at it, I don't think we're gonna know who wins that day either. It's just not gonna happen, because a lot of the mail-in votes and stuff, it's just not gonna happen. But you're gonna have people being like, oh, I won though, oh, I have a higher percentage, so like putting out like misinformation. We're gonna see that. So collectively this week, what is going on for us collectively this week? There's so much earth energy. Okay, so much earth energy. Bottom of the deck. Okay, bottom of the deck, Death, the Two of Swords, and the Five of Cups. Not really surprised about that. Okay, so what is going on this week? So the first card that came out is the Two of Cups. Then we have the Ace of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, and the Six of Wands. I think that collectively, and I mean, the energy is there for it. I feel like collectively, we're going to try to get on the better side of things, especially when it comes to our intentions with this Ace of Wands here. The Wands suit, it rules our journey. It rules literally how the steps we take, how we progress, what our intentions, and how we kind of go from setting the intention to contemplating on the intention. Is that the intention we want to take? To then, okay, you know what? This is the best way that I can go ahead and do that. How do I see my, literally, I'm like breaking down Ace of Wands, Two of Wands, Three of Wands, Four of Wands. Like, how do I see myself being successful with this intention? What conflicts can arise from this intention? All of these things come from that Wands suit. So we're setting this very bold intention for our future, and right in between this intention are two different things. On one hand, we have the Two of Cups, which again highlights that relationship energy, that partnership energy, that connecting with other people, working with other people, partnering with others, letting ourselves be loved by others, and also loving others and sharing that as well, as that Ten of Pentacles energy. This Ten of Pentacles energy is really important, because Ten of Pentacles energy always takes a long time to manifest. So just because this is the energy of this week, don't be like, okay, I'm gonna be rich by the end of the week. That's not how that works. Ten of Pentacles energy takes your intention. Okay, it takes your intention that you set for yourself this week, and it puts it in a time context. Okay, because the Pentacle suit is ruled by the earth signs, and the earth signs are the slowest moving of all signs. Okay, even Capricorn still takes its time to do the thing. There are literally managers that I've seen grow like through different companies I've worked for before, like, oh, I've been in the company for 10 years, and it literally took them like 5 years to go from or like it took them like every 2 or 3 years they rose to a different role, and then they were at the highest position that they were at that time, and they still wanted to go higher than that. It takes time to see a lot of the fruits of your labor, and it's gonna also take time to see a lot of the fruits of your intentions as well. When you're trying to do, you know, some work with the Pentacle suit, when you're trying to bring that type of energy in, you also have to realize that you're asking your reality to be shifted completely for it to look different. Every single one of these pentacles is an intention that you have set, whether that be for a relationship, for kids, for a house, where you want to live, what country you want to be in, what do you still want to travel? Do you want to have money to travel? Do you want to have savings? Do you want, all of these things are in the Ten of Pentacles mind frame and state of mind. And that's why it takes so long to manifest in totality, because you can start manifesting 10 of Pentacles energy like gradually. It's not hard to find a relationship, and it's also not hard to call in a soulmate situation or call in your life partner. It's not hard. However, there are prerequisites to be had before you can keep the thing, and that's usually where people get stuck with the time. And that's why it takes so long for these kind of the ten of Pentacles energy to manifest a lot of the time, because you're setting an intention for your life, for your journey, but then some of y'all take forever being stuck in some stupid ass relationships with people that you were just supposed to literally learn something from in like a certain amount of time and then be out. Like, and a lot of soulmates end up working that way anyway, because not everybody that you meet is your soulmate. Not every soulmate is your life partner. Your life partner doesn't have to be a soulmate. It's just so many complicated parts of love that get so complicated because people make it more complicated, and then people get attached. Okay, attached. And so the more you have of this energy of this person in your life, the more and the longer, if they extend their time that they were even supposed to have with you, and you extend their visa in your life, you kind of just pushed back some of those intentions that you set, because now you are distracted. And that doesn't go for every relationship. I'm just saying, there's some of y'all that are entertaining some fools in your lives that you do not need to be entertaining. I'm just being honest. But if your intention is, okay, I want to have a life partner, I want my partner to travel with me, I want my partner to have kids with me, I don't want to have kids with my partner, I want to adopt, actually I don't want to give birth, I want to adopt, I want, like, however it is that you want to kind of address your relationship life. Understand that your relationship life and the energy and the people that you keep around you also affects those intentions and the length of time that it takes for that Ten of Pentacles energy to fully manifest into your life, especially with how you want it to kind of see. And a lot of the time, Ten of Pentacles energy takes a longer time to manifest because you end up changing the intention. This energy, the Ace of Wands, is forever changing. It's forever changing energy. You might have said you wanted a green house, but then you actually ended up wanting it to be glass, or you said you wanted to live in the United States or live in one state, and then all of a sudden 2 years later you're like, you know what, my spirit is calling me here. And so that just changes that whole intention you done set 3 years ago. Okay, and now Spirit is like, okay, so let's bring this into fruition. Let's continue to evolve the Ten of Pentacles energy. Ten of Pentacles energy is your garden. And I've described life and what our collective life looks like as a garden, what our intentions look like as a garden all the time. The reason for that, because I want you to see your life as a garden. If you look at a garden, there's things that die out in different seasons that have to be, that literally just grow too much of, or that you need to completely take out from the root because it's just not growing anymore. And you can also plant new things into the ground. All of these things is Ten of Pentacles energy. So it's forever evolving, it's forever changing. All of these intentions, all of what your reality looks like, especially once you start achieving a lot of these smaller intentions that become that Ten of Pentacles energy. Once you start achieving those things, it's like, oh, you know what? I actually got what I wanted, but what do I want next? You keep adding. It's forever in addition of, you're continuously co-creating with the universe. So the Ten of Pentacles is not just like, okay, 10 years from now, I'm going to be XYZ and living over here, and then that's it. And then I die because I just got achieved whatever intention I set 10 years ago. That's not how it works. You're forever evolving. You're forever changing. You have to let yourself and allow yourself to grow. And you have to understand that when you're setting these types of intentions for your life, for your purpose, for what it is that you want, and also for those relationships that you want to have stability in the long run, because the Ten of Pentacles energy is also not going to entertain these type of foolery, you know, I'm just slipping into your DMs or commenting on your picture because you cute type of energy. Like, it's just not gonna work. I'm sorry, it's just not gonna work. So you have to be very, very self-assured about what it is that you want right now about your future. But then when you get into those parts, those points in the future where you're like, you know what, I also want to add this, I also want to add that. Like, you need to be flexible too into your evolution, because your growth is not going to look like a line like this. Sometimes it's going to be like do 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 do, like it's gonna, it might have little dips where you need to adjust, and there's nothing wrong with that. I cannot stress that enough. There's nothing wrong with that. So the goal is, okay, to work on those things, to put in the work in those intentions, to put in the action that we need to take to make a lot of that happen. And a lot of that comes from that self-analyzation of what we're comfortable in. This is again, there's a reason why I titled it for this week's live is what's your comfort? Because you do have to ask yourself, are you comfortable? What are you doing? What are you unhappy? Are there still things that you feel like you need to address about your life? And if they are you really been stubborn about those things? Are you not trying to shake some things out of your life? Are you not able to let go of some of the toxicity, some of those weeds that are not doing anything in your garden, that's not growing you or bearing you any type of fruit? Even if it's just flowers, those are herbs you can use for other purposes. So I need you to be a little bit more creative about how you address what you're working on. And we should all be working on something right now. And I'm not saying all of y'all need to go have a business, because not everybody is a business person, and that's not everybody's purpose. And I said that earlier when I said some people were literally just meant to, you know, have kids and be a parent and heal their divine feminine wounds. Some people were literally just meant to heal a lot of their financial wounds from past lives and such and such. And so there's a lot of things that get integrated in our lives that kind of create a lot of this chaos that then we need to analyze and say, okay, well, what am I comfortable? Like, I'm not comfortable being in the middle of this damn hurricane. I need to now take myself out of it by analyzing every issue on the table. And that's when the hermiting come in. Once you get out of that hermiting mode, you can go into work. When you put in the work, you will see the success. You will see the fruits of your labor, because you still have to put the work in the garden before it can grow you anything. There ain't gonna be no tomatoes growing out your garden without you planting or having the seed back there. Okay, you still have to actively do the work. That's where the intention comes in. Okay, and so with the Four of Pentacles and the Six of Wands, I love the Six of Wands card because it's always like this high horse kind of energy. It's always like being at your best, and it's a very Leo energy. And for this week, you do have to put yourself on that high horse, and you have to ask yourself, what is it that you want to be on that high horse for? Why do you feel like you deserve to be up there, to be recognized, to be seen, to be loved, to be have those connections with, to be abundant with? Why do you feel like you deserve any of it? And once you get down to that question, you come back to your comfort, because a lot of it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be super complicated at all. It just, you have to ask yourself, what parts of what I've been comfortable with, that I've been very stubborn with, have affected my growth, have affected my standing, my stature, my perception of not only where my life is going, but how I'm attaining my abundance, how I'm being constantly shining upon, how I'm constantly growing throughout all these circumstances. How am I doing that? What habits do I need to remove and take out that have been blocking me from being on my highest level, on my connected to my higher self, being in alignment with who I'm supposed to be? Now is the time to get to work in removing a lot of those obstacles. And you're going to see this week being kind of almost like a test. It's like, okay, you want to shine, especially with this Venus and Leo energy. You want to shine? Okay, well, give me a reason to put the light on you in the first place. Give me a reason. What is a reason? What is a reason? And what is it that you want me to shine a light on? Because when you think about it, the way that you have been, if you shine a light, if anybody would shine a light on you now, would you actually feel comfortable standing in your truth, standing in your realness, standing in your life? Would you feel comfortable? Is that something that you would be like, you know what? This is great. Like I totally deserve this. I totally deserve every second of this. Would you be saying that, or would you just be kind of shying away because you can't stand the sunlight? And those who cannot stand the sunlight usually do not feel comfortable being themselves in front of other people. They don't feel comfortable allowing their garden to really thrive because no sunlight can get in there to grow anything. They're usually just pulled away from the thing. And so you really have to ask yourself, like, why am I comfortable with this energy? Why is this okay? Why am I not allowing myself to be the best that I can actually be? And how am I blocking my own blessings in doing so? I'm just saying. So, we're getting 2 cards from the Goddess Oracle deck. The first one is Focus Intention, which I'm not surprised about from everything I just said. Keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target, and you will make your mark. And that's really what this is about here. Because once you start getting to work on something, you really have to think about it this way. When you're in a work environment, like actual work, like whether you're in an office, whether you're in I don't know, like you're in a store, whether you're working retail or something like that, you are being put in a situation where you have to do what you were hired to do, okay? And they do that and put it in a physical sense, because if you were at home, and a lot of people who usually work from home can be very distracted or have things in the background, or, you know, kind of like sway to the side and like do something else and focus on something else because of this. Because a lot of the time, if you want someone to do what, if you hire someone to do exactly what you want them to do, you have to put them in their environment for them to do it. Okay, you can't have somebody clean your house from their house. That's not how that works. And so when it comes to having a very focused intention, you have to put yourself in the environment to be reactive, to work on the things that you need to do. That's why this is coming up the way it's coming up here with the 8 of Pentacles. In order for you to execute and actually be successful in the things and the intentions that you are trying to bring to fruition, you do have to work on them. You have to put time into them. You have to do, whether that be spell work or whether that be making moves. Because if you're asking to get a job, or if you're asking to have love come in, you can't just be up in your house with the lights off and be like, okay, no, my love's gonna find me somewhere. Like, what, it's gonna break through your window? Like, I don't understand. You have to put in the work. You have to step out. You have to be seen. You have to shine. That's where the Venus and Leo comes from. There's a reason why the sun is seen as, in many ancient cultures, the sun is seen as the ultimate god. There's a reason why that is, because the sun is full of that growth energy, and it gives you that growth if you stand in it. Not if you hide from it, if you stand in it, in the sunlight. This is why even what I'm doing now with having the live, that is me standing in this. I can literally turn this off and be talking to myself in the room. But who would that be helping? Who would I be helping? Who is receiving the message? Who could I share this with if I'm literally just talking to myself in my room? You have to allow yourself to shine in the sunlight in whatever way that means to you. What is your comfort for this week? That is the question. The other card that came up was Sacred Space for this week. Create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. This is a really powerful thing to do with the meditation that we did earlier in nature. I'm telling you guys, really, really, if you really want to take this up to the next level, if I were you, I would go to, whether it be your favorite place or if you wanted to pick somewhere in the city or in your town or something like that where you just wanted to go and do that meditation, I would highly recommend doing so, because it does take your practice to the next level when you can connect to a place, to the earth in a grander scale. Really tapping into that core earth energy at the end of the day, especially because we're getting so much pentacle cards, and it's really, really, really because of all the earth energy that's in, like, with all the planets and the way that the planets are kind of talking to each other. That's why it's the way it is. 1000%. What do we need to know for this week? What do we need to know for this week? Okay. So the first card that came out was you're a spiritual teacher. Share your wisdom with others. You are born to teach. So for those who this applies to, because I know that this does not apply to everybody, you have to actually intuitively connect with how you feel about you sharing and giving to others, and being a vessel, because being a teacher and being like a spiritual leader to any capacity, and being the messenger essentially, is being the vessel for spirit to talk through you. And that's something that some people are not comfortable with and some people are more comfortable with. And how do you want to do that if you do want to partake in that? And the best advice I can give you, if that's something that you would like to do, is to connect with Archangel Gabriel, because he was the one who pushed me into actually doing this. We would not be doing this today if it wasn't for Archangel Gabriel. I'll let you guys know right now, we would not be doing this today. But it is important for you to get that support, and if that's something that you want to do, then I would work with the angelic forces to feel comfortable about the decision ahead, if that makes sense. We're also getting unity. You're spiritually connected to everyone through God. Use this sacred bond to heal your family, friends, and yourself. And uplift your thoughts. Focus your attention on the many blessings that surround you. By doing so, you'll let go of depression, poor self-esteem, and excess weight. Okay? That is a very beautiful message, especially when I feel like some people are still trying to pick a direction, still trying to pick like where they want to go, why they want to go there, like all of the kind of the little nitty-gritties of what our life is kind of looking like. It's a very, very beautiful message, because your mind, especially during Virgo season, Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury, 1000% is always about your head. Always, always. What do we need to know for this week? What is our energy surrounding this particular week? Damn. Release your ex is the first one. The time has come to clear your energy. Just leave that there for whoever that needed to see it. Past life relationship, you have known each other before. I don't mean you're gonna end up together though. I'm just saying. And then you're getting express your love. Okay? Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. And I do think this is 1000% that Venus and Leo energy that I was telling you guys earlier. I'm telling you, the energy is there. For those who are not going through like a ex situation, you guys are really, really wanting to kind of really share your love energy with others right now. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's definitely on a different level. It's like it's kind of like you just want to share that so bad. And I do feel that for a lot of people. I felt like that sun come into Venus energy with Leo being in Venus and the way it is. It's just a very expansive. It like takes Venus energy and it just kind of amplifies it with light. That's what it feels like. And I do understand why it's like it's going to be more showy during this time as well. Archangel Michael, what do we need to know for this week? What do we need to know for this week, Archangel Michael? What do we need to know for this week? Okay. Whew. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So we got 2 cards. We have write about your thoughts and feelings, and you're on the right path. So the first card goes, thank you for helping me tap into my God-given creativity and wisdom so I clearly express myself and glean insight, blessings, and healing. And the next one is, you're on the right path. And the prayer goes, Archangel Michael, I call upon you now. Thank you for giving me loud and clear guidance that I can easily understand. Thank you for motivating me and filling me with the courage and confidence to make healthy life changes. I'm not surprised about the writing one, because Virgo season tends to be a very, like, they love to journal. Virgos be journaling nonstop. Like, they just do. They like to express themselves through words, because Mercury. So a lot of the process when it comes to them, it's always done on a type of verbal way. And so journaling is a really, really good practice to maintain, and is also one of the reasons why I started the Book of Shadows series on the Patreon, because it prompts you to answer the questions. So Archangel Raphael, what do we need to know for this week? What do we need to know for this week? Okay. So the first one is hydration. I'm also not surprised about this, because there is a lot of earthy energy on the chart and not enough water to combat that. So I need you guys to stay hydrated, especially if you're trying to connect with the earth. The earth needs water. And the prayer goes, dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for motivating and guiding me to drink more water so that my health, energy, and appetite stay at optimal levels throughout each day. Okay. And then the next one is children. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for helping me to help children. Children, at the same time, also refers to, and I have to mention this because of the spiritual leader kind of card that came out. Children also not only deals with actual children, but also deals with people who don't know any better about certain things, and that includes people who you need to share and teach to any capacity. And I've always found that a lot of people that are in that kind of space, I always end up getting like the children kind of card for them. Not necessarily talking about actual kids, but just they have an innocence to them. They might not be as aware, and you might know a little bit more, kind of like that energy. So I hope that makes sense. Archangel Gabriel, what do we need to know for this week? Okay, all right, hold on. Archangel Gabriel, what do we need to know for this week collectively? What do we need to know for the, okay, they both fell. Hold on. Ooh. All right. So, 2 cards. The first one is Mother Mary. The Blessed Mother is helping you with your divine life purpose. So this is that mother energy. And the specifically divine mother energy. And this is also for my people who believe in not just that the divine is a kind of on a more masculine, but more believing in the feminine aspects of the divine. This is where that is specifically coming from. Mother Mary energy and divine feminine energy always talks about divine, like, mother energy. That's a very much, and I always say this, but Cancer and Virgo energy tends to be very mothering energy because they do a lot of serving for others, but how they nurture others, how they give to others as well. You can't forget that the planet itself is more water than it is earth. Earth being father energy. It is earth energy. And it's divine masculine energy. Wow, it's called me, so I had to no, because I'm still live. And then father energy being more of that earth energy being more masculine. Having that in your minds of kind of how water energy still continues to get dismissed versus how earth energy still continues to get dismissed. Well, not, well, continues to get abused, I will say. I can make a whole video talking about the relationship with the divine and how it reflects on, because as above so below, how it reflects on the earth itself and how we treat our divine feminine energies in relation to how we treat our divine masculine energy, because a lot of the divine masculine energy deals with the physical realm, money, houses, finances, the trees, earth, the plants, everything, versus the ocean, which gets oil spills, which gets kind of like abused all the time, which gets completely taken advantage of in many ways. And to this day, people still don't know certain things that are living in the ocean itself, how deep it goes. There's just so much of the ocean that we don't know. And the ocean is connected to spirituality, okay? And so we can't ignore those aspects of divine feminine energy when they're calling out to us. And I feel like this week has a lot to do with connecting with the divine feminine energy and who we direct that energy to be to. Because for some people it's Yamaya, for others it's somebody else. This could be Aset, it could be Heru, it could be somebody, it could just literally be somebody else, it could be Oshun, it could literally be our water deities. It really depends on how you work with this divine feminine energy, but it is important for you to do it, because especially if you look at our oracle cards, a lot of it was pentacle energy with earth's energy, but the earth does not grow fruit without water. So you need to actually think about that this week while you're trying to navigate and set all these intentions. Okay, but how are you going to water it though? So I want you guys to be aware of how you work with your divine feminine energies, your divine feminine deities as well, orishas, gods, goddesses, because they do have a presence in your growth, and how you move ultimately in your life. So I had to say that. The next one is speeches and speaking. You have an important message to deliver that can help others. And I do think that, again, that's coming up from the where to go, your spiritual teacher card. I do feel like there are some people that are getting called to be more than just themselves. I'm not surprised about this, especially during Virgo season, because Virgos are tend to be leaders to a lot of capacities, because they just are very knowledgeable people, and they know how to take care of others. So it is important to understand that if you're getting called to be that vessel, that messenger, you have to be okay with that journey, because not everybody wants to put themselves out there in that capacity. And for you, it might be different. For you, it might have to deal with what you want to do, whether it's actual teaching in like a school or something like that, or whether you want to like be a professor or be like a counselor or some sort, or like, it doesn't have to be necessarily spiritual, but it is a teacher to some capacity. Be aware of that energy. Be aware that that's something that's kind of like showing up for us collectively. And I'm not surprised, because there's a lot of people that know a lot of things that like to, you know, hide in the dark and not say anything. So let's look at our planetary energies for this week. What are our planetary energies collectively for this week? What are our planetary energies? Okay. So, Virgo. So we got Virgo and Mars. So make sure you look at your transits. to see how this is going to be affecting you for this particular week. Mars is still in Aries. Chiron is still in Aries. So just be mindful of what's coming up for you, but especially because Virgo's there, that really highlights a lot of the things that we talked about in this live. But just look at your transits to see how it's going to be affecting you specifically. And we're just going to pick, I'm going to ask for the mudras for this week that you can meditate with, whether that be in your sacred spaces or in your house, or if you want to redo the earth meditation that we did earlier. Let's see what comes out. I'm going to take one more card for the collective this week. Wow, that is hilarious. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. So the first one that came out was stability to the earth. Guys, I can't make this up. Stability to the earth, okay? See it right there? All right. And it says, attuned to the earth's stability, I move confidently along my life's journey. What a way to just highlight the whole entire live. I'm just going to zoom in right there so you guys can kind of see it. And this is going to be the back for my people who are going to come later to read the back of the card. Then we have self-healing. Self-healing, attuned to the rhythms of my inner sea. My inner sea, as in the ocean. I am nourished by the waves of healing energy. Damn. Damn. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in. That's crazy. Is that not crazy? Because I think that's pretty crazy. This is gonna be the back for my people who are gonna come in later and just pause and read. And then we have awakening the inner witness through the gradual release of limiting beliefs. I continue my journey with greater clarity. Wow. Okay. That's what that looks like right there. This is the back for my people who's going to come back and pause and read. Okay. That was pretty on the money as far as the mudras we should be doing for this week. So I'm just going to hold them up again. So if you want to take a screenshot or whatnot and then just work on these throughout the week and incorporate them to your meditations, and start just, especially if you're doing some meditations outside with the earth, start incorporating some of these and see what comes up for you. I'm actually really excited for this week's like messages. I feel like it's a very powerful time. I feel like it's a catalyst for change in many ways. So I'm definitely super excited for this shift, because I feel like honestly Virgo season is always a really good season for me, because it helps me realign with what's going on, like what we're doing, what's happening. So it's a very powerful time, and it's just, that was such a beautiful message, and I hope that you guys get to work on those. So let me just read some of the comments real quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and sign off because this is a long live. But hold on, where was I? It's a lot of stuff on here. I felt lots of energy coming from my basil plant. That's actually a great thing, because basil is it's just a great herb to work with, just period. It's just a great herb. I know my girlfriend specifically likes to just smell it, just sit and smell her basil, which is great. I mean, basil is great for your finances anyways, so basil meditations, weekly basil meditations, just do it. I'm telling you. I'm a Taurus and I was feeling horrible last week. You should be feeling a little bit better this week, especially because we're basically starting this week with the moon in Taurus. But Uranus is gonna be wrecking you guys for a while, and I need you guys to understand that. Until this Uranus transit moves out of your sign, which is not going to be for a long time because Uranus takes a really long time to move, you guys are going to be getting wrecked for a while. But wrecked in a, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a bad way unless you resist. So resistance is futile is the word that's coming to my head, because Uranus is all about revolution. It's all about change. If you resist, it's painful. if you allow yourself to evolve, you'll be fine. So it depends on how you want to address it. I honestly see Uranus and Taurus as a blessing in many ways, but others might not see it that way, especially because of the way Uranus have been affecting the earth itself, because Taurus is an earth sign and it automatically affects or just the actual planet itself. So there's a lot of stuff going on that might not be the best of the things that is happening, but it does highlight a lot of the issues that people want to ignore about the planet in climate change. And so it is a necessary process because we have been ignoring a lot of these things. Now it has to be in our face. It has to be in our face. People have to literally die for change to happen. It's always been that way. It's very irritating that has to be the reality of our lives, and that literally people have to die for change to occur. It happens all the time. It happens with the Black Lives Matter movement a lot too. You always see things and like protests continue, protests like and I'm not talking about people who riot, because those people are, and then people who are like stealing and looting, because a lot of those people, there was an article that came out today about some rich white lady who she just was going around looting, and they were trying to blame it on like the Black Lives Matter movement. No, there's a lot of people doing a lot, using it as an excuse to get away with things, but there is a reason why everything, it almost just adds to the pool. It adds to the equation. It adds to the anger, the intention itself, which is we want change. And when you don't see that change happening and you see the opposite happening, it fires up that movement again. It's fuel to the fire in many ways. And it's unfortunate that it has to happen 1000%. And it really doesn't have to happen. But some people in this world are too stubborn and do not want to change anything until their house is literally on fire. They will not move out of their house until their house is literally on fire. And so that's because the world moves that way a lot of the time. Uranus tends to be as aggressive as Uranus is, because he really doesn't want to sit here and entertain, you know, patting you on the head and, you know, teaching you your lessons like slowly or anything like that. He's very aggressive and unexpected about the way things need to shift. And so Taurus, you're not going to really be feeling that. I don't want to set the intention that you're not going to be feeling great for like a long time, but I think that you guys, because you're the most stubborn out of any sign, you guys are going to have a little bit of a hard time upgrading, and it's going to take you a longer time to evolve through it. And it's also going to take the planet a while to evolve through it. It's going to take people a while to be a little bit faster reacting. So we'll see how it all comes together, but it's definitely something that you're better not fighting against, is the best way I can kind of say it. Pink, relax. Are you gonna beat somebody up? So damn cute. I can't stand her. Okay. My Leo moon wants me to spend money. I don't have. Listen. Hey, Pink, relax. Relax. I think, especially when it comes to the money situation, listen, Leos have been very, very stingy with money, and rightfully so, because Leos like to be very luxurious when it comes to their spending habits. So I'm not really surprised that you're kind of going through that. I would say when it comes to money right now, it would be in everybody's best interest. Take this from a Capricorn with Leo in the second house. It would be in everybody's best interest to be a little bit more have a little bit more intention with how you're spending your money, and make sure what you're spending your money is valuable to you, not just, oh, you want to just spend it. Like, is this really that necessary, or can you be investing that into your savings or into something else? We have to be a little bit more mindful of our finances because we value it so much. and because people have been wounding our relationship with money. Society has been wounding our relationship with money. It just has. It literally has taken money and been like, oh, well, guess what? Now you don't have it and you're in debt. You got to pay this. You're getting evicted because you didn't have any money and all this stuff. It's like that mentality hurts your relationship with money, and it makes it so it's a wound with your finances. So I would say spend more time doing I honestly start your days with some money affirmations. I do that all the time when I'm cooking. I'll just put some money affirmations, or some I listen to the I am affirmations all the time. I listen to like the business affirmations all the time. I listen to like the health and healing affirmations all the time. Like depending on what I'm feeling or what I need, or what I know I need to realign and just shake out of my head, or my energy, or my space, or my home, or whatever, I just will cancel that out by refreshing my energy and my connection to that. So I would say that's probably one of the things that I would tell you to implement in your life. Hey, beautiful people. Hey. I just broke up with someone. Sun in Sol. I don't know. I don't know what the word was. Oh, in Leo. Sun in Leo. I am really not surprised about the breaking up situations, to be honest, right now. It's a lot of things going on. There's so many things, so many planets are retrogrades right now that it's just like, it's a clean house type of year. And you have to really ask yourself, what is it that you want to go into 2021 with? It's really that. It's gotten to that point. Like, what do you want to bring into 2021? And if some things are not just worth your time, then they're not. And if you have had to evolve out of situations, then that's what you had to do. But you have to be comfortable with your decision, and you have to accept that decision in the first place, because that helps you progress and then move forward and kind of recenter yourself to what you need to focus on. Because relationships can be very distracting and like connections with people can be very distracting for like your life's purpose, because then you're just like thinking about somebody else versus thinking about what you need to do. So while there are some of us that like, and not that there's some of us, there's times where we can do both. Sometimes those connections, when they're not meant to be in our space, can hinder our progression. So we have to be aware of that. Like those every time you're thinking about that kind of energy or that situation or whatever, you're just fueling it. You're continuously fueling it. So you do have to be mindful of how you want to move forward with it. Just moving forward, period. Gosh, thank you so much for sharing your insight with us. You're welcome. Yo, you know how many times I said you're welcome this past week? I felt like I was in Moana, just like singing the you're welcome song, because it's just come up quite a few times. Luna, hey, stop trying to attack Pink. Yo, she's so saucy. She's such a saucy ass cat. I can't with her. Whatchamacallit? But yeah, I've been in a state of like not only gratitude but also just like you're welcome. It's been happening a lot. It's just been happening a lot. Love this advice. I started this process back in January. It took a while, but it was really worth it. COVID forced us to be inside and think. That also helped the process. I think some people did that, and then a lot of people didn't do that, and now I feel like some people are starting to do that, and that's fine, because not everybody's doing the same process at the same time, but it is still a necessary process to do. If Trump wins, I'm gonna be so upset. Yes. Whatchamacallit? What's the other one? This literally happened to my family. We were evicted out of our apartment on the 27th because we had no money. That is crazy. I am so sorry, my love. I hope that you recover, and I hope that you guys are able to really come up from the situation as well. It is just really, really sad of what's going on right now in the United States specifically, because not every other country is literally like coming out of this. We're still like by December it's estimated that we're gonna lose 382,000 people, I believe is what the number that I read. And it's just like really sad that that's like over 250,000 people that have to die because our government is trash. It's really sad. And I hope that we can all just rise up from this and also understand that when you get older, after you know, have evolved through so many things, and if you end up having to have kids, or you have grandchildren or something, they're gonna ask you these stories of, hey, what did you do? What was it like? All this stuff. What did you do in 2020? How did you overcome this? How did you change the narrative of your story? Did it trigger anything? Did you change anything about your circumstance? Did it cause you to have to think different about how you move in life and what you need to do for you? So it kind of triggers a lot of different things. But I hope that this year ends on a good note to some capacity, and I hope that we all grow from this. This is definitely an experience. I feel like every generation tends to go through a whole situation. So this is definitely something that we need to see through, and I hope that we evolve in the best way out of this. And I honestly have the best intentions for this planet, for this world. Even if my intuition, even if my higher self tells me that there's others that have worse intentions, but there is still that yin and yang, that balancing that needs to happen to the world. And I do feel like we all need to, especially our generation, we need to kind of take the narrative back. And that I feel like it's the biggest thing. It's about affecting and creating change and taking the power back. Because we have to. There's 1000% we have to. It's time for us to resume control and be our best selves without any restrictions. That's the way I see it. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Thank you so much for joining the live. I will definitely see you guys in the next one. I have a lot of videos planned, so stay tuned. I will get the election video out for you guys soon. I'm gonna try to do work, just film it this week. It's just, I know it's gonna be long, so I'm dreading it a little bit because I know it's just gonna be like over an hour long probably. So I'll try to do my best to give you guys the information without making it super long, and we'll see how that goes. But definitely stay tuned. Definitely make sure you are subscribed and ring the bell to get notified every time I upload. And also don't forget to check out the Patreon because we're always learning and growing over there. I am about to post all of the things that, like the weekly updates, a lot of them happen on the Mondays. So they're about to get the Book of Shadows weekly prompts and the weekly messages from the Akashic Records as well. So definitely make sure you check out the Patreon if you want to join us in our community over there. And yeah, don't forget to sign up for the tickets for the workshop, the Hollows, on the 31st. It's an online workshop. Literally, I think during this live, I saw the thing. There, people booked like, I think it was 10. I can go on it and check, but I think it was 10 because I saw so many email notifications. So tickets are really, it's about to be sold out like this fast. So make sure you're signed up for it because I might not open up more spots. I do want it to be a little bit more of a personal workshop, of just like not a huge amount of people. So we'll see how that works. But if you want to get a ticket, make sure that you sign up for it. It's either free or by donation. So just make sure you're at least signed up for it so you can get the link for that live, and you can get the information for it as well. And if you're interested in getting the ritual kit as well, you can also get it through the Eventbrite. I'm gonna link everything on the live down below, but you can also find it on the community tab of the channel. Okay, so I will see you guys in the next one. Have a beautiful night. Bye.